Our planet is warming. We see the evidence all around us, from melting glaciers to extreme weather events. This crisis affects us all, but its impact is not evenly distributed. Developing countries, often least responsible for greenhouse gas emissions, bear the brunt of climate change's devastating effects. They face rising sea levels, droughts, floods, and other climate-related disasters. These events threaten lives, livelihoods, and entire ecosystems. Addressing this injustice is paramount. Climate finance plays a crucial role. It provides funding to help developing nations mitigate climate change and adapt to its impacts. However, ensuring that these funds reach those who need them most requires transparency, accountability, and a commitment to equitable distribution. A glimmer of hope emerged at COP29 in 2024. The international community agreed upon a new target, mobilizing at least $300 billion annually by 2035 for climate action in developing countries. This new collective quantified goal, or NCQGG, triples the previous target of $100 billion set in 2009. While this signifies progress, concerns remain. Firstly, is the NCQG sufficient to meet the growing needs of vulnerable countries facing escalating climate risks? Secondly, will these funds reach the most vulnerable communities, particularly those in fragile and conflict-affected states, often overlooked in traditional aid mechanisms? The answers to these questions are critical in determining the effectiveness of climate finance in achieving climate justice. The current state of climate finance reveals a stark reality. The funds are not reaching those who need them most. The OECD reported achieving the previous $100 billion target in 2022, though this claim is disputed. Even if true, evidence suggests that the funds are not reaching the most vulnerable nations. A 2023 study by the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, or SIPRI, analyzed climate finance data from 2015 to 2021. The study revealed significant gaps between commitments and actual disbursements, with disbursements lagging 40 to 50% behind pledges. This discrepancy raises concerns about the reliability of climate finance promises and their translation into tangible action. The SIPRI study highlights a critical issue hindering effective climate finance: data gaps. These gaps make it incredibly challenging to track climate finance flows accurately, assess the effectiveness of funding, and ensure accountability. One key challenge is the lack of clarity on where funds are actually being used. The study found that around 20% of commitments and 26% of disbursements were marked as regional or bilateral, non-specific. This lack of transparency obscures the true destination of these funds, making it impossible to determine whether they are reaching the intended beneficiaries. Bridging the climate finance gap requires a multi-pronged approach. First and foremost, we need better data. Donors must improve the accuracy, consistency, and thoroughness of their reporting to international databases like those maintained by the OECD. These systems need to capture more granular data, including details on disbursements, actual spending, and precise project locations. Furthermore, we need standardized methodologies for generating and analyzing climate finance statistics. This includes developing per capita calculations that account for a country's vulnerability to climate change, conflict status, and resource limitations. By addressing these data gaps, we can gain a clearer understanding of where climate finance is flowing, identify any disparities, and hold donors accountable for their commitments.